Hello, ladies and gentlemen, loyal Imperial citizens and rebel scum alike. Welcome to another Liam Maiden gameplay video. Back with more Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes today. Now, you may notice that things are looking a little different. That is because I am over on my new free-to-play account that I started a few months ago. Now, originally, I was thinking that I would maybe, chronicle my journey here, that I'd basically be running 2 accounts on Galaxy of Heroes and make some videos looking at what it's like to start a new account and be a new player. I've since kind of changed my mind. I don't think I'm going to do that. It just takes a lot of time to run 2 separate accounts, and I don't think I have time for that. However, it was really interesting for me. I originally started playing Galaxy of Heroes a long time ago, several years ago now, so it was really interesting to start a new account at the end of 2021, beginning of 2022, and see how different that early game experience is now for new players. All of the changes that have taken place since more long-term veteran players like myself started the game several years back. To begin with, I mean, look at the starting roster. Look at the kind of characters that you get for free now. I mean, you're getting characters like Jedi Knight Anakin. He was an aspirational character when I started, someone that you would really have to work up to. Moff Gideon. I was really shocked to see Moff Gideon is now a freebie giveaway character. That is so amazing to me. Dark Trooper. Again, gone are the days when we had to rely on Ewok Scout and Farm Boy Luke. And then you've also got Kylo Ren Unmasked, of course, amazing character. They're just giving you these guys for free. So that got me thinking. Like many other people, I've made videos looking at the best first teams for people to farm when they're new to the game, but my previous videos have all been based on my experience as a new player several years ago, and I think it's out of date. So today we're going to look at some of the best teams I think you should shoot for as a new player based on what it's actually like to be a new player in the game in 2022. Let's go. Alright, so back over on my main account now, just because I don't have anyone unlocked, as you saw on that free-to-play account, so I think it'll be easier to take a look at the squads here. So let's take a look at my picks. No particular order, but these I think are the top 5. Number 1 is Empire. Now, I should point out that some of these squads are going to have legendary characters in them. With all the changes they've made, the characters they're giving you up front, the accelerated farming, a lot of the characters on the journey guide are now much more accessible than they were even a year ago or 2 years ago, and one of those is Emperor Palpatine. Papa Palpatine is now very easy to get. He's going to be one of the first legendary characters that you go for, and this is a powerful team, especially since they give you now Moff Gideon right off the bat. Vader is going to be one of those characters that you slowly accrue as you move through the game. You're going to get shards for him. You're going to unlock him in no time now with the accelerated farming levels that they've got. Tarkin you're given free as you move through fleets. And then, of course, the other legendary on this list is Grand Admiral Thrawn, an incredibly important toon, important for fleets, just important anyway. His fracture is really, really useful in game. This is going to be a great team for you to use initially in Grand Arena, and just also for those dark side nodes. Since you've got Moff Gideon there, I really think you should take advantage of this team from the beginning. It's one to shoot for. Not the only Empire combo, of course. As we mentioned, they already give you Dark Trooper, so you could take out Tarkin and you could throw, I haven't done anything with Dark Trooper on this account, criminally enough, but you could throw Dark Trooper in there. You could throw anyone in there, really. TIE Fighter Pilot is another one. He's actually one that I took up to gear 12 very early on in the game. I don't necessarily recommend that, but you have so many other options now, and in fact Dark Trooper I think is another strong choice along with Tarkin, but I would definitely recommend investing in Empire up front. You're going to get a lot of play from these tunes later on in game, especially Thrawn, Palpatine, and Vader. Sticking with the dark side, of course, you've got to go for First Order. They're giving you Kylo Ren Unmasked. It would be literally a crime not to build up your First Order squad. Very, very useful squad in the game. This is probably the setup that I would recommend going for. It's also, of course, worth noting that with the changes in the game that have come about over the last year in particular, you really do want to be thinking about a galactic. I've not got any galactic legends on this list today, but you do want to be thinking about a galactic legend from the get-go. And as I've mentioned in previous videos, the galactic legend that I would recommend is still Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. I still think he is the best galactic legend to go for. Not the one I went for. I went for Sith Eternal. Now I recommend Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. First First of all, because he is one of the easier to go for. But unlike Sith Eternal, who's probably the easiest Galactic Legend to go for, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren gives you a really great team to work with just through the farms that you require to unlock him. You already get a really great squad. That's not so much the case with Sith Eternal. I unlocked him a while ago. I'm still working on getting a good team that he really jives with. Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, you already have a great First Order squad, and this is a really great setup here, especially if you go Hux and Lobster. But you can trade people out. I mean, I've put Stormtrooper in there, but you could put in Phasma, you could put in Panda, the Executioner, you could put in First Order Officer, or either of the pilots, and you're going to need to do that anyway. You're going to need to build them up. This is an easy team to go for. Supreme Leader Kylo Ren is a great first Galactic Legend. I definitely recommend it. Heading on over to the light side now, you know how I love me a Jedi teamer. If you don't, then you do now. This is one of the setups that I recommend for early game players, new players to the game. So you're going with the Bastila Shan lead here. Now it's worth pointing out that Bastila is really your placeholder. You're putting her in place for Jedi Knight Revan. But it can take a while to build up to Jedi Knight Revan. And, some people don't recommend investing in Bastila. I wouldn't necessarily, take her up to Relics as one of the first characters you relic, but I do think she's worth investing in. I do think it's worth spending a Zeta on her leadership ability for that extra protection. She is a really, really good Jedi leader, especially in the early parts of the game. Now, there's another legendary character on this list here, Grandmaster Yoda. Again, he's going to be one of the early characters that you unlock from the journey guide, and in order to do that, you're going to need your 5 Jedi characters. Now you can see Ezra on the list here too, and obviously Ahsoka and Jedi Knight Anakin that you get as freebies. I've already said you're going to need Thrawn, so you're going to be building up Phoenix. You're going to be building up Phoenix in order to unlock Thrawn. Phoenix are not on this list here today. They're kind of one of these teams that you're just going to shadow build up in the background in order to get your unlock. You can also use them to unlock Palpatine, of course, because they all have the Rebel tag, but it also gives you 2 Jedi, Ezra and Kanan, so you can use either or both of them on this squad. Later on, you're probably going to swap out Joe Lee Bindo as well. I don't know, maybe you're going to replace Ahsoka or Ezra with him, but this is a great Jedi squad to go for at the beginning. Where are we at now? Number 4. Number 4, I've gone with clones, and I've gone with Shaak Ti clones. Now, Shaak Ti is the leader that I am using right here. She is actually going to be a little inaccessible because of where you farm her on the fleet node, so she may not be the character that you have in the leader spot here first. In fact, maybe you're going to take her out and put Rex in there. Talk a little bit more about that in a second. But clones, I think, are a really good team to build up. Again, they're a good team to build up in preparation of Grand Arena. Some people use them on defense. I mostly use them for offense. I think they can be a very effective offensive team. Now, there are several counters to them, so they're not going to be a revolutionary team. I don't think you're going to get necessarily as much mileage out of them, especially with this setup, as you will with your First Order team, for example, if you go with the setup I mentioned right at the beginning. But they can still be very powerful. So let's take out Shaak Ti, and let's put, if you're going to so when you haven't got Shaak Ti yet, you're definitely going to use Rex in the lead, and then you have so many other combinations, right? You could throw Cody in there. You could use Clone Sergeant instead of ARC Trooper if ARC Trooper is difficult. You could even throw in any of the Bad Batch if you happen to have them. And of course, what you're really doing with this squad is you're building up to Gas. You're going to unlock him later, and he's going to take over from Shaak Ti as the lead. And finally, it's Bugs. Had to be Bugs. Bugs was gonna make the list. There are so many reasons for you to go for Bugs as one of your first teams, especially now with the accelerated drop rates for farming. There's really no reason not to go to for Bugs. So first of all, Bugs are actually, the Geos are actually really hard to counter in the early stages of the game. Later on, when you've got Traya, when people have Padme, they're much easier to counter. But in those initial stages of the game, the Geonosians really are a very difficult team to counter, and you're actually going to get very far with them in Grand Arena and even in Squad Arena. So it really is worth bearing that in mind. Secondly, we've already mentioned Padme. You can use the Bugs to unlock Padme. You need 5 5-star Separatist characters, and all Geonosians have the Separatist tag, of course, so they will help you on your way to unlocking one of the best journey guide unlocks, especially for kind of early to mid-game players. So this is a team that might start off a little slow, might take you a little while to get up to Geonosian Brood Alpha. You're going to start out with Soldier and and Poggle. They're two of the more accessible members of the squad, but they really are worth investing in. They're not going to seem amazing on their own, but once you get the team together, especially once you start investing in Brood Alpha, you're really going to see dividends. I really do recommend you go after bugs as one of your first teams, and of course they're going to be super useful when you're up at the level where you're doing Geonosian raids and you're trying to get those Watch shards. That's for much later on. They are a team that eventually you're going to want to relic, you're going to want to take them all the way up, but they have a ton of utility in the early game as well. Don't sleep on bugs. Well, there you go. Those are my top 5 teams that I recommend new players or people just starting early accounts in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes in 2022 that you go after. No particular order. Empire, First Order, Jedi, clones, and then Geonosians. They're the ones that I recommend, but what do you think? Let me know down below. Maybe you're a new player and you're just trying to get your head around teams. Maybe you've found a really great team that isn't on this list here that you want to include. Maybe you've been playing for ages and you just have a totally different sense of the best teams to go after at the beginning of the game. Let me know down below. Also, really keen to hear your thoughts. If, like me, you've been playing the game for a while and you maybe weren't aware that they're giving out, say, Moff Gideon and Kylo Ren unmasked just for free at the beginning of the game, because that really changes the whole thing. And again, with the hyperdrive bundle and the accelerated farming, I think people coming to Galaxy of Heroes in 2022 have a very different experience of the game than we did back in the day. Be really keen to hear your thoughts about that as always. Well, there you go. Thank you for being a part of this journey with me today. It was really great to have you along for the ride. If you did enjoy this video, found it informative or entertaining in any way, please consider giving it a like, a thumbs up down below. I really do appreciate it, and it helps out the channel. And hey, while you're here, why not consider subscribing to Liam Maiden Gameplay? I drop new gameplay videos for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes and Marvel Strike Force every single week, and I would love to have you along for the ride. That is all from me today. I'll see you in the next one. In the meantime, look after each other. And remember, the Force will be with you. Always.